सर यदि आपकी अनुमति हो तो मैं स्टार्ट कराऊं।
Yes, now we can
जी सर।
start.
जी।
हाँ,
जी
हम
सर,
start.
इंट्रोडक्शन कर लेते हैं सर।
जी
यशस्वी मैम, आप सुन पा रहे हैं मुझे?
हाँ
हाँ
जी।
बिल्कुल।
जी। जी।
Namaskar everyone. This is Dr. Yashasvi Thakur, Assistant Professor in Environment Science from Dr. Vice Parma University of Horticulture and Forestry, Nauni, Solan, Himachal Pradesh. It is both an honor and a great privilege to introduce our today's distinguished speaker, Professor Rajeshwar Singh Chandel, Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Yashwant Singh Parmar University of Horticulture and Forestry, Nauni, Solan, Himachal Pradesh. Before joining this assignment, Professor Chandel held the position of Executive Director, Natural Farming Mission in the Government of Himachal Pradesh. As a senior researcher and academician with over 20 years of experience, he has keen interest in the fields of natural farming, agroecology, and sustainable food systems. He has been partnering with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Government of India, Niti Aayog, and many state governments. He is the member of the Global Consortium of Agroecology led by France and also a member of many other committees constituted by the Government of India. Recently, he has been recognized as an international trainer on agroecology. Sir is going to enlighten us all today with his talk on the topic Principles, Prospects, and Scope of Natural Farming in India for Atmanirbhar Bharat. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Yashasvi. The organizing secretary of this conference, rather very important conference, I would say, 21 days summer school come training on new advancements in agriculture sciences from Green Revolution to Viksit Bharat, which is being organized by AgriMeet Foundation Bharat and in collaboration with BHU Varanasi, SKLTSHU Telangana, Vice Parmar University, ICRISET Hyderabad, MGUVV Durg Chhattisgarh, IGKV Raipur, HAU Hisar, ICR Atari Jabalpur, ICR DCR Puttar, Karnataka, and Rani Lakshmibai Central Agricultural University, Jhansi. It's my great privilege that I have been given this opportunity to interact with around more than 200 participants all across. So thank you so much for inviting me to be as one of the key speakers. Ankur, I appreciate your hard work and your interest. You have been contacting since long. So directly, without waiting, I'll go to my presentation. Yes. Screen. Full screen. Yes. So this, I'll start from some of the pictures from horticulture farming system and cereal farming system, how natural farming is working. You all can hear me?
Yes sir, yes sir,
My
perfectly
voice is
audible
clear,
sir.
no?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes,
Okay.
Yes sir, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So why now there is a call all across for the natural farming? Why do we need actually natural farming? We have been number of the alternatives with us, like organic farming, biodynamic farming, etc., etc. Since we have the number of the national commitments to the global community, our global agriculture export share has to be increased We have to position globally as organic and natural food and millet basket. We have to be self-sufficient in oils and pulses. Then food security, although we used to say that India is now fully secure in the foods, but do we have the same situation in case of nutrition? So in that case, we should have availability, affordability, awareness, and policy frameworks to have the food and as well as the nutrition food. So when we talk of the diversified and nutritional food, so it means we need to have the diversified food basket. Then One Health is now the latest slogan. It's not the health of the only human being, but plant, animal, and soil. Then optimization of the supply chain process from farm to fork with end-to-end traceability and transparency. Because in bullet 4, when I talked about the affordability, whether the organic food which is available in the market, is it affordable to the normal consumers? So this is a questionable. So we need to have the end-to-end traceability. Means if you are paying extra or if you're getting the food with the logo of the natural farming or organic farming, then the consumer should get the back traceability where from the food is coming. And at the same time, transparency means if something is being sold at ₹100 in the at the final outlet, what has gone back to the farmer? Uska kitna mila? So that principle has also to be followed. Then again, the commitment of Honorable Prime Minister of India is that we will enhance the water use efficiency by 20% and reclaim 20% of the degraded land by 2030. So Himachal Pradesh, just there is a problem in the slide, why it is going? No, why it's going out? इसका So I think there is a problem in this slide. So what is the problem with the conventional system? That is the chemical farming system, which is in practice, not only in Himachal Pradesh, in my state, in mountainous states, but in rest of the country. If you talk of the mountainous state, so these are falling under the very fast degrading category. United Nations Convention to combat the desertification and climate change, they declared these mountainous states as the fragile states where biodiversity is degrading, where soil is degrading. Then one small study which was undertaken in Himachal Pradesh recently, it says that 90% of the farmers, they found a decline in predator insects and honeybees, which are very important pollinators. You know, Apple is contributing to the tune of 50,000 crore economy to the state. And the productivity and the production depends upon the pollinator. The honeybees is the most important pollinators for fixing the productivity parameter of the apple. But there is a 90% decline. Then our farmer products carry 1% higher pesticide residue than the national average. This is again an alarming situation. Then up to 80% of the farmers, they reported eye irritation, skin allergy, vomiting, dizziness, etc. Like different health issues, which they felt after pesticide applications. So that means there is a very high risk of the pesticide hazard. So now there is a common terminology now people are using, or not people, but many organizations are using. Although the ICR has decided now to differentiate the organic farming and natural farming. But general institutions, they used to say organic and natural farming, which is not truly same. I would say the basic objective of the both farming system is same, that is to save the soil, to enhance the biodiversity. But then why natural farming? Because you see, the organic farming movement, it entered into India after 1980. So after having the 45 years of the organic farming in practice, we could not see much of the farmers transformed into this farming system. And more alarmingly, the small holders could not adopt it, with the single reason, with the sole cause that all inputs which are being bought from the market, which are being supplied by the multinationals, are more costlier than the chemical ones. Hence, the organic farming could not become the movement of the farmers. But in case of natural farming, when we advocate the preparation of all decoctions, all plant protection inputs at local level, at farmer group level, so this is natural farming. It means when input is ex situ, it is organic farming. When input is in situ, it is natural farming. So I think I could make some good difference between the two farming systems. Will some of you can reply? Could you understand the actual difference between the organic farming and natural farming? Anyone can reply.
लास्ट में सर इसको रिप्लाई करेंगे जब वो क्वेश्चन आंसर वाला सेशन होगा। अभी सबको ऑन रखते हैं, डिस्टरबेंस ना हो, इसलिए सबको ऑफ रखते हैं।
ओके, अच्छा, सबको ऑफ रखा, ठीक है, डन
जी।
So this is the situation of the Himachal Pradesh. More than 1.6 lakh farmers have been transformed into natural farming, although they have not covered their whole area, because it is not the kind of the practice which is imposed upon them, but this is the volunteer practice. So out of total 9.6 lakh farmer families, 1.6 have adopted it to the smaller to the higher level. And out of it, more than 14,000 are the apple grower. Why I am citing the special reference of the apple is because apple farmers, they apply up to 14 sprays per season. So you can see the use of the higher level of the agrochemical use in case of the fruit crops. So out of total 3615 panchayats, 99% have been covered. Out of through different training sessions, and this is the old data. Till now, more than 20,000 hectare area has been converted. So how we did it? First was the sensitization. We used to sensitize the farmer through various group meetings, political dispensation. When they used to visit the different area, they speak about the natural farming, and then exposure. What we do is we take the farmers to the natural farmer fields. The actual extension workers or the scientists, they take the back seat, and finally we allow the discussion between the natural farmers and the visitors. And out of this group, when we find that some of them are interested to go beyond their knowledge, then we start training programs. We impart 2 days training, and finally out of these trainings, when the farmer, they start adopting, and finally feedback, regular handholding. So these are the some of the impacts that we could see: up to 57% of the cost reduction in case of apple, up to 28% for wheat, 14% for cereal and pulses combinations, 27% for vegetables. And similarly, there is a gradual increase in the net returns, up to 27% in apples, 64% in wheat, like that. And why the farmer will get the better net return? Because unless we work upon the pest, insect pests, we work upon the diseases, we work upon the soil biological properties, only then it allows the farmer to get the better harvest. So in case of pest attack, Here are some of the reasons I'm citing here is the incidence of the scab. This is one of the most important disease of the and Marsonina in apple and yellow rust in wheat. It was lower in case of the natural farming. Incidence of the Toto absoluta. This is one of the invasive pests. It entered in India in 2000, I think 14, and now it is the most devastating pest of the tomato, cucurbits. But here, interestingly, the entry of the Tuta absoluta was delayed by 3 weeks in the natural farming systems. The incidence of the tomato leaf miner was lower. Population of natural enemies of insect pests increased by 8 to 10%. Then, what are the environmental impact, which ultimately helps farmer getting the better yield is soil microbial population is better in case of natural farming. Soil enzymes, they have been increased. Soil organic carbon, there is a tremendous increase in the soil organic carbon. And soil organic carbon is a national issue now. You must be knowing that at the time of the independence, our national average organic carbon was more than 1.5%. But now it has come down to from 0.5, 0.6 or 0.5%. So how it is happening? Because you can see the enhanced soil activity by the microbes and the earthworm. So here you can also see the more activity of the earthworms in case of the natural farms. Then whole of the now globally or United Nations FAO is talking about the crop intensification. So this is the complete shift from the monoculture to the crop intensification. So here you can see that up to 9 crops are being grown by the farmers concurrently on the same field at the same time. Then about soil and butter, it is the perception of the farmer that better soil health in terms of porosity and softness. It means the natural farms have now the better ability to absorb the water. Then other opinions are SPNF. This is the Swash Palika natural farming. SPNF crops have better drought resistance, better taste and flavor than chemically grown crops. This is the farmer perception. What are the challenges? Because when you enter into the new scenario, you will have to face the number of challenges also. So here, same, we found in case of the natural farming. So the first one is knowledge intensive farm practice. So it's not unlike the chemical farming system where we recommend based on the package of practices developed by certain institutions. We provide those package of practices to the farmer follow them, and ultimately continue with the farming system. But natural farming is a knowledge intensive farming system, means year after year, season after season, the farmer, the scientist, the extension worker, they continue to learn. So this is a continuous process of learning. Then understanding of all tenets of natural farming. Yes, this is very true. Because it never works like the chemical farming. When you see the sufficient number or significant number of the pest entering into the system, immediately we go for the application of the pesticide. When we see there is some kind of the disease, immediately we apply the fungicide. We have the set procedure to apply nitrogen, phosphorus, potash. Then we are also influenced by the multinational companies. So many of the farmers in case of orchards, they apply the different micronutrients also as a spray. But here in case of the natural farming, 2 plus 2 is never 4. Because the one activity, one tenet, one principle, it triggers the activity of the second one. And when one and second starts working, they trigger the activity of the third one. So all tenets, all principles of the natural farming, they have to be applied in tandem to get the best results. Third one is structured trainings followed by exposure visit. It will not happen that unlike our conventional system of training, we invite farmers to our KVKs, to our institutions, then train them through lectures, etc., etc. The natural farmers need to be trained only on the farms of the natural farmers. And immediately after the training, they need to be taken to the fields of the good farmers. So here, the model of a natural farmer is to be taken as a resource center for all learning and for all kind of the knowledge gaining. Simultaneously, you can also see the photographs, how multi-cropping is there, how a tree is being applied by the Jivamrit only on the borderline. It's not near to the roots. How you can see it's the base of the tree is covered by the achadan, which is the mulching. So here, treatment versus ecosystem. One more trend, dangerous trend is in practice, that the many researchers, they take the natural farming as one of the treatment. And what is happening? In the final outcome, they find the reduction in yield. So I would say it can never be a treatment. Once the ecosystem has to be created, then all studies, whether it relates to the entomology or pathology or soil science, that has to be taken from those ecosystems. So it cannot be taken as a treatment only. Another is farmer commitment. Yes, very true. Unless the farmer is committed, unless he understands the whole process, whole toolkit of the natural farming, the natural farming will not work. Outscale versus upscaling approach. Because as already I have said that, we have trained the farmer for the chemical farming. We have been training him since last 40, 50 years. So it will not happen immediately that he will transform into the new methodology. So once the farmer has to be sensitized, then trained, then exposed, and then finally allow him to start the natural farming on a very small piece of land. Because unless he is convinced, not allow him to go forward. And once he creates a small successful model, he can upscale the area. Then outscale, upscale, both approaches will start working. And generation of empirical data. Yes, now institution, even ICR, today in the morning, I have also attended one of the important meeting on natural farming. The whole of the ICR institutions, KVKs, they are generating the empirical data on the different outcomes of the natural farming. So now, this was the process till we grow the crops through natural farming practices. And we have been successful in all farming system, whether it is fruit-based farming system or it is cereal-based or vegetable-based farming system. But things should not stop here. Because there is a whole roadmap from the field to the consumer plate. So we have abbreviated it as SUSPNF. This whole journey is SUSPNF. That is Strategy for Sustainable Food System Platform for Natural Farming. So that is farmer, then farmer interested groups. Then we are now converting those farmer interested groups into farmer producer organizations. Then beyond that, we have a thought process which is working, that to create a association of farmer producer organizations, and finally to develop a marketing entity. So here you can see this PK3, this is Prakriti Kheti Khushal Kisan Yojana. This Yojana is very, this is one of the flagship program of the government of Himachal Pradesh. This is working in Himachal. So under this Yojana, various, all farmers, different farmers have been transformed. They have raised different models also. So now we have the established production base. We have the big data analytics. We have the government of India schemes like BPKP, or now we can say that National Mission on Natural Farming. Then we have certain commitments to the global community in terms of sustainable development goals. Now, beyond production base, our thought process is for that to create the whole roadmap that how the food starts producing on the farms and how it will reach to the consumer plate. So for that, SusPNF has been, this platform has been created. And we have taken the two bases to establish this model. First one is transparency. I have already explained it, that the market price should be gone back to the farmer. Farmer should understand what was the final cost and how much I am getting out of it. And next is the traceability. That is that the consumer must understand where from the produce is coming. So here you see the local markets was created at different levels because the Himachal has the small farmers. And it's not Himachal, but globally, the whole food supply is being maintained, supply chain is being maintained by the smallholders having less than 1 hectare acreage. So here you see from the 𝐃𝐚𝐲, which is at around more than 3,500 meters above mean sea level, to the lower part of the Himachal, which is at 370 meters. So you can understand that natural farming is possible across the farming agroclimatic zones. Now another question arises, when we produce successfully, we are producing successfully the natural produce, we are talking about the markets, we are talking about the transparency and traceability, but who will establish it? How the consumer will understand that, yes, actually my produce is certified? Because the organic certification system have number of the challenges. The farmers are not entering into that, less farmers are entering due to different challenges, due to its high cost. So in Himachal, we have developed a Sitara natural farming system. Sitara is certified evaluation tool for agriculture resource analysis through natural farming. And in this methodology, this is a software methodology where farmer uploads its data based on its land, based upon its practices, based upon the variety of the crops and how it's growing. Then the system automatically generate 1 star, 2 star or 3 star. Here you can see that in organic farming, there is a strong reservation that the farmer will get the organic certification only 3rd year of, after the completion of the 3rd year of organic farming. But my question to you, all of you, is that how a farmer will sustain for 3 years? Can a farming family feed his family for 3 years without waiting for having the good price? Not at all. But here we have provisioned that farmer has just entered the natural farming system in commercial, means at least he is applying one component of the natural farming, the system will award him 1 star. That is Antaral Kisan. Second one is the Sadharan Kisan. Star 2 means farmer is practicing natural farming, following all tenets without and producing without agrochemicals, but still is dependent on ex situ inputs. Means still he is being loaded by the external inputs which he has to buy from the outside. And third is the Bisist Kisan, farmer fully practicing as per the production tenets of natural farming. So this has been started. Until now, more than 1.3 lakh farmer family, they have been registered under these different registration systems. So here you can see the example. This is the farmer. What's the details of the farmer? What kind of the crops here he is growing? How long he is in the natural farming process? And he has been ranked as the Sadharana Kisan. Means he is using natural farming practices. He is not applying the agrochemical, but still certain part of the inputs he is buying from the outside, maybe organic. Then again, here you see for Galgal pickle, 3 and 2-star rated farmers, because this is a group of farmers. So this is a mixture of 3 and 2 rated farmers certified by government of Himachal Pradesh. So how I'll make it more clear that how we have now empowered the farmers through this whole food chain processes. First is farmer, then he comes with his produce. Now we are aggregating the produce of the farmers through self-help group and farm interested groups, and finally converting into the FPCs. FPC is the farmer producer company. This is one of the flagship program of Government of India, where the farmers are being 10,000 farmer producer companies are to be supported by the Government of India for 3 years. So then what FPC will do? FPC will aggregate the produce of the individual farmers. Then he will go for the value addition. He can go directly for the direct sale, or he can go through the value addition, then grading, storage, packing, labeling. That whole responsibility will be taken by the FPCs. FPC will be responsible to create a small infrastructure in the small farmer groups. And finally, external market. We are also planning to open the now franchises in different markets. We have opened captive outlet. One of the captive outlet is opened in my institution also. Then it can directly be taken to the mandis like that. And similarly, e-markets can be undertaken, can be. And finally, this goes to the why slide is not moving? Last year. So I think, yes. And finally, the consumer. But again, the consumer will get the back traceability through the certification Sitara system. By one click of the mouse, he can find out the history of the farmer, the practice of the farmer, and the kind of the crops farmers are growing. And similarly, the farmer will be empowered by transparency. I think this word is losing here. For example, the under Indian situation, a farmer gets from 19 to 31 rupees if something of his product is sold at rupees 100 in the market. So our target is to elevate him to the level of the 65 to 70 rupees through these processes. So this was the whole concept behind this. So here you can see some of the pictures when first of the farmer producer company, Chopal Natural, it was opened by the university in one of the apple growing areas. So it's not simply the selling of the apples, but here you can see the university is helping in value addition of the product, in branding it, in marketing it, with all the data level claim on the produce. So we have seen that this natural farming is helping in the economic upliftment of the farmers. It is helping in the sustainability of the farmers, because the farmer has to spend minimum for the external inputs. Everything is being created on the farm or around the farm. The risk of the glut is now we are mitigating that effect, because he is growing a number of crops at a point in time. So if one crop doesn't provide him the better price, there is chance that second or third crop will add to the profit of the farmers. So it is also ensuring the nutrition security. Then when he is not using the agrochemicals in the near future, we will try to link him with the carbon credit, these kind of the projects. Similarly, we have the number of the example in Himachal Pradesh that many youths, they have come back. Many youth during COVID, they have come back, adopted the natural farming as a smart farming, and now they have become the brand ambassador of the natural farming in the state. So this is all about we have seen for our local farmers. But how to convince the global community that yes, how this natural farming is adding to the commitment of the Honorable Prime Minister to the global community. कितना पानी कम करना है, कितना मिट्टी को रिक्लेम करना है, how much diversity has to be increased, how much nutrition has to be increased, how the product is to be made safe to the consumers. So in that way, we are also positively mapping the SDGs through this Prakratik Kheti Kushal Kisan Yojana, that is natural farming. So out of total 17 SDGs, 169 targets and 232 indicators, Prakratik, this natural farming is mapping 7 goals, 15 targets and 18 indicators. So here, these are some of the publications from Himachal Pradesh, and these are how we are promoting the farmers, these innovative farmers, the innovators. We are selecting 15 to 20 farmers from each district who are doing excellently on their farms. We select their stories and publish them. Simultaneously, we are also now organizing the certificate course on natural farming. For the last 2 years, with FAO and INRAE France, we have organized 2 trainings for the global communities, where we have trained more than the people from more than 24 countries. Similarly, natural courses, national certification courses has been initiated. We have started now the BSc Agriculture Natural Farming in my universities. This is the 4th one after 3 CAUs. We have a wonderful now models on farm models. We are the first to establish the natural farming practices on the high density apples, which is very high input intensive crop, but it is being successfully grown under natural farming practices. And to conclude bit, based on this past 6-7 years work, now we have been awarded with one European Commission's project. We are the part of this consortium amongst the 11 countries. And from 26th onward, now a global team led by the France is visiting the university to look after these models, to interact with the farmers, and to establish how sustainable agriculture system models they are working in India to take back this knowledge to their respective country and to further the objectives of the project. So thank you very much from our side to be so patient to listen this whole story from my state, from my university. And I would be very happy to have the questions from your side. Thank you so much.
जी सर, चैट बॉक्स ऑन कर देते हैं, उसमें पार्टिसिपेंट्स अपनी क्वेरी लिखते हैं और मैं पढ़ के बताऊंगा सर उसको। जी एडमिन महोदय, चैट बॉक्स ऑन करिए।
जी सर, जी सर।
Or you can raise hands also. I think nothing is in the chat box.
जी 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 आ गया सर। एक क्वेश्चन सर आया है, will the natural farming be effective even in Karnataka?
Yes, this is from the just wait, yes, this is from the 𝐃𝐚𝐲𝐬 Sheikh.
शेख ये
Mr. Sheikh, Karnataka was the first state where Mr. Palekar has started working on natural farming and raised the successful model. Because whether it is Karnataka or any part of the state, including the Himalaya, the principles will remain same. And the most important principle is to enable the soil processes to run as usual, which are hampered by the chemicals, by different agrochemicals. And second is growing of the multiple crops to allow the more natural enemies to come, to allow each crop to act as the repellent of the pest of the another crop. So basic principle remains same. So any state can grow it.
Thank you, sir. And we have next question from Dr. Faisal. And first, good evening, sir. And the question is, in a country with a large population and food security concern, lower yields can impact the overall food supply and income stability for farmers. How can it be tackled?
Yes, this is a very interesting question, and this is being asked by almost by every third listener.
Yes, sir.
My first question was, when we imported the concept of organic farming from outside, did we ever raise those questions? And in those times, when food security was the actual issue. Since this is the indigenous technology, this is the indigenous methodology, our farmers are very near to this methodology. So there's no issue of the productivity loss. No issue. If all principles or practices are applied, I ensure you that even during the first year, the farmer will get the full production. Second one, no one is enforcing it on the farmers. It's on the choice. Farmer is an independent entity. Once we convince him, once we expose him to the actual models, there is no reason that he will not follow. So this is a voluntary approach. So how the question of the food security we are expecting. This is apprehension. Apprehension would have been true if this has been entrusted upon each and every farmer like Sri Lanka to do it forcibly. We are not doing it. This is optional. It's choice. It's a comparative advantage. Could I make you to understand?
Bilkul,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Next.
We have next question from Dr. Dharmender Kumar. The question is, under natural farming under Kulu Valley of HP, first time there is an attack of fruit borer. Please suggest any control for that. I think sir is from HP, so he's asking for some control for fruit borer.
In which crop?
Don't know, so he just asked. It might be apple, sir. Sir is from Kullu, so might be apple, most probably.
Fruit borer is not a problem of apple. But
borer.
However, maybe some another issue. You see, natural farming is not
आ गया सर, एप्पल में ही पूछ रहे हैं सर, आया है उनका क्वेश्चन.
एप्पल में फ्रूट बोरर नहीं होता, दूसरा इंसेक्ट्स है. बट देखिए, ये कोई जादू की छड़ी नहीं है नेचुरल फार्मिंग. The natural farm will also be liable to be attacked by all those kind of the diseases and pests which are in the other areas. But there are the 4 ways we check the pest. The first one is application of the Bijamrit, where we allow the seeds to have the more resilience for the growth and to fight against the diseases. Application of the Jivamrit. Jivamrit में हम लोग we make the soil more nutritive. Then multiple croppings in the way that each crop does not support the pest of the another crop. It means like monoculture, when there is a large acreage under single crop and pests move frequently from one area to another, we check that probability there. Then third one is when we don't apply any insecticide, pesticide. So there more number of the natural enemies are there. And next one is when the pests start attacking. So based on the past year's experience, we have the number of decoctions like Nimastar, like Brahmastar, like Dashparniyak, like Agniastar. So based on the past year experience, we apply all kind of these decoction as preventive one, because they are not the killer. They don't have the side effect, but then they repel the pest to come on the crop. So that's why I said कि it will not work like a chemical farming कि हमने एक चीज apply कर दी, that's it. We have to apply all tenants at a time, all tenants. So जो कुल्लू से question आया है, I'll request him to visit the regional research station of Horticulture University Solan at Bajaura. They'll demonstrate you. They have a good natural farm there. Then we have number of apple growers, natural farming based apple growers in Kullu.
Okay. We have next question, sir, from Dr. 𝐃𝐚𝐲𝐬. And the question is, how to measure the quality of our natural farming products? Is there any measures to know the quality of the products?
Yes. Again, this is a good question. So as I have shown you the whole food chain, we are certifying the farmers. So based on that certification, you can, with the help of the mobile, you can find out the traceability of the farmer. And in case of the produce, generally, yes, we do the random checking, random sampling for the availability of the pesticide residue. But generally, like organic farming, because in organic farming, there is also testing for the practice, not for the product. So here we have developed this algorithm for the practice, what the farmer, how the farmer is growing it, what are the different practices he is applying to produce it. So there is a set procedure. So based on that procedure, he is getting the certification. Sitara 1, Sitara 2, Sitara 3. Star 1, Star 2, Star 3.
Okay. Thank you, sir. And next question is from Rudra Gowda. The first greetings, nice presentation, sir. And the question is it possible to achieve production sustainably through natural farming? That too in tropical environment, sir?
Yes. Why not in tropical environment? Because I have already conveyed it that it's the practice. So whether it's tropical, it's subtropical, it's subtemperate, or it's we have proved it up to dry temperate, up to 3,800 meters from mean sea level.
Okay,
so it's possible everywhere.
Okay, thank you, sir. Next question is from Dr. Ram Prakash Sharma. And the question is, what is the proper method of weed control on natural farming?
Yes, this is very important challenge among the farmers. You see, you must have heard about the one sentence that 1 year seeding and 7 year bedding. जब 1 साल के लिए अगर बीज चला गया, and if you continue to weed it for 7 years, only then will vanish it, but with the condition that in second, third year, again there will not be the separate of the seed. So the biggest problem of the weed, it comes from the FIM. In FIM, जब गोबर आता है पशु से, when they eat the different kind of the grasses, the seed, they get digested, and the seed come out as a scarified seed, means with more ability to germinate. So when we apply FIM, so it adds the good quality seed of the weeds to the farmers. So in natural farming, we have the number of the methodologies. The one is, we don't recommend the application of the FIM. Here there is a 𝐾𝐚𝐲𝐬. So in case of FIM, when we recommend 5 to 7 ton of FIM per acre, here in case of the 𝐾𝐚𝐲𝐬, this is like a culture, application of a culture, because this is the consortium of the microbes. So उसको 400 kilo per acre करना है, despite 5 to 7 ton. So the first possibility of the weed is eradicated after the application of the 𝐾𝐚𝐲𝐬. Second, we recommend the mulching, cover the soil surface with the dry mulch, or if dry is not available, then with lime mulch. Means the whole soil surface is to be covered either by the dry mulch or live crop. आप किसी भी दाल का छिड़काव कर दीजिए, पूरी दाल से भर दीजिए ग्राउंड को. Don't allow the sunlight to go inside. Then slowly after practicing this method for 2 years, 3 years, you will get rid of the weeds. But not immediately within first year, because there's also already the abundant number of the seeds inside the soil.
Okay, thank you, sir, for the solving the query. And the next question is from Dr. Swapnil Pandey. First greeting, namaskar, sir. And it was very informative session. And can you suggest any natural farming approaches for controlling fruit fly in guava and other fruit crops?
Yes. Fruit fly is now an international problem. And for the last 2-3 years, we have also been we are scared of its entry into the apple ecosystem also. What we do in case of the natural farming, first one is there are the multiple methods. The first one is raking of the soil. Means first recommendation is don't take the rainy season crop. Go for the winter season crop. First one is. Second, raking of the soil, because its pupa it pupates in the soil. तो इससे पहले कि वो पूरा फ्लाई बने, सॉइल को थोड़ा सा रेक कर देते हैं, हिला देते हैं, so that pupa will not turn into the fly. That is the second method. And third one is putting some of the lures. 5 रुपए 10 8 रुपए का एक ल्योर मिलता है, और उस ल्योर को हम वहां अप्लाई करते हैं और उसमें मक्खी आती है. ऐसे मल्टीपल मेथड्स को अप्लाई करते हैं.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is from Sakshi Garla. And first greetings, thank you for wonderful lecture, sir. I belonging to Himachal Pradesh district Mandi, and the question is, sir, I have mango orchard on my land. How to convert that orchard into natural farming with multiple crops?
आपके पास, आपको देखिए इसका जो कंसेप्ट है, अर्लियर इट वाज नेम्ड एज जीरो बजट नेचुरल फार्मिंग. So there were also controversies on the name, but I am convinced with that zero budget नाम जो सुभाष पालेकर जी ने दिया था. सुभाष पालेकर जी का कंसेप्ट है कि जो आपका इंटर बिटवीन द प्लांट स्पेस है, ग्रो विद द मल्टीपल क्रॉप्स, शॉर्ट ड्यूरेशन मल्टीपल क्रॉप्स, एंड आउट ऑफ दोज मल्टीपल क्रॉप्स one should be the legumes, because legumes is responsible to fetch the atmospheric nitrogen and it adds to the soil, and finally from the soil it goes to the rest of the plants. से जमीन को इस ढंग से प्लान करिए कि हमारी 2 3 4 क्रॉप बीच में लगानी है, और जहां भी खाली स्पेस बचा उसको दाल से भर दीजिए विदाउट बॉदरिंग that you will have to go for other farm practices. उसको पैर के नीचे आने दीजिए, बट जितना बैक्टीरिया फिक्स कर दोगी उतना नाइट्रोजन को एक्सट्रैक्ट करेगा. जब वो सूखेगा तो उसका ऑर्गेनिक मैटर बनेगा, ऑर्गेनिक मैटर सॉइल में जाएगा, उसकी जो नाइट्रोजन है रूट में जो बैक्टीरिया फिक्स हो गया है, वो जो जमीन में कार्बन गया उसको फिक्स कर देगा, ना कार्बन को निकलने देगा और नाइट्रोजन को भी प्लांट्स को प्रोवाइड करवाएगा. से बीच का एरिया को भर देना चाहिए. और कोशिश करना, अगर डिप्टी प्रोजेक्ट डायरेक्टर आत्मा से आपका मिलना हो सकता हो तो वो आपको कोई ना कोई ऐसा डेमोस्ट्रेशन वहां पे बता देंगे. प्रोजेक्ट डायरेक्टर आत्मा वो एग्रीकल्चर का जो डायरेक्टरेट डिस्ट्रिक्ट का है उसमें आपको बता देंगे.
Okay, thank you, sir. And next question is from Dr. Deepak Lal, shorts. The question is, what is the accreditation and certifying mechanism for organic based natural farming in India? If someone want to open natural farm, then how he can get certificate like?
देखिए, ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग देयर इज ए वेल एस्टेब्लिश्ड सिस्टम. ये यूरोप से हम लोगों ने लिया था, एंड देयर वर नंबर ऑफ द कंडीशंस दैट इफ समबडी वांट्स टू डू द ऑर्गेनिक फार्मिंग एंड ही सराउंडिंग फार्मर्स आर केमिकल, ही कैन नॉट गेट इट. इफ इन द हिली एरिया कोई ऊपर केमिकल कर रहा है, बीच में ऑर्गेनिक कर रहा है, तो उसको भी नहीं मिलेगा. ऐसे नंबर ऑफ रिस्ट्रिक्शन लगाई थी. अल्टीमेटली 2 एजेंसीज निकल के आई थी. एक तो पीजीएस था, पार्टिसिपेटरी गारंटी स्कीम, जिसमें फार्मर्स अपने आप अपनी गारंटी देता था बेस्ड ऑन सर्टेन कंडीशन कि मैं इसको ऑर्गेनिकली ग्रो कर रहा हूँ. एंड सेकंड वाज द थर्ड पार्टी सिस्टम. देयर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एजेंसीज आती थी, डिफरेंट एजेंसी को क्रेडिट किया है, वो आती हैं, गवर्नमेंट से उसको फंडिंग मिलती है 3 साल की, 3 साल में वो सर्टिफिकेशन करते हैं, देन दे गो बैक. तो इसमें क्वेश्चन आया कि चौथे साल फार्मर क्या करेगा? 3 साल भी फार्मर पे करता था. तो एक तो फार्मर अच्छा काम कर रहा है, ही इज डूइंग समथिंग गुड फॉर द एनवायरमेंट, गुड फॉर द नेचर, बट उसको पैसा देना पड़ेगा टू प्रूव दैट ही इज गुड। इसलिए हमने अब ये जो सितारा सिस्टम बनाया है, इसको अभी नीति आयोग में प्रेजेंटेशन इसकी हो गई है, गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की कमेटी इस पे बन गई है, आई एम वन ऑफ द मेंबर ऑफ दैट कमेटी। वी हैव पुश्ड दिस सितारा मेथोडोलॉजी आल्सो देयर, और होपफुली अभी आने वाले टाइम में जल्दी ये सितारा सिस्टम भी नेचुरल फार्मिंग के लिए शुरू हो जाएगा। हिमाचल गवर्नमेंट ने इसको अडॉप्ट कर लिया है।
Okay, thank you, sir. And the next question is from Dr. Dharminder Kumar. And the question is, sir, please suggest cabbage butterfly control under natural farming practices, as well as tomato fruit borer.
यस, कैबेज के लिए तो बहुत आसान है। आपका अंडा क्लस्टर्स में होता है, 100 to 120, 125, 30 अंडा ये देता है। एक बड़ा सिंपल मेथड होता था कि पत्ते को पकड़ो और अंगूठे के नीचे वो क्लस्टर आता है, उसको क्रश कर दीजिए। दिस इज द सिंपलेस्ट मेथड, बट when we, because it is mostly happening in case of monoculture, because we have been trained in our formal education for the monoculture, हम लोगों का एक्सपोजर मोनोकल्चर के लिए है। But here now our university has got 4 approvals for the package of practices in case of cabbage also. Cabbage के साथ अलग क्रॉप्स लगाइए लाइन में, एक जगह कैबेज लगेगी, कैबेज के साथ आपका ब्रिंजल लग सकता है, भिंडी इसके साथ लग सकती है, इसके साथ रोज में कॉर्नर्स पे आपका लेगुमिनस क्रॉप आ सकती हैं, तो इसका अटैक कम आएगा। सेकेंडली, एप्लीकेशन ऑफ जितना भी हमारे कैटरपिलर्स हैं, इनके लिए ब्रह्मास्त्र का अप्लाई करते हैं। ब्रह्मास्त्र डज नॉट अलाउ और इट रिपेल्स द फ्लाई टू ले एग्स ऑन द बैक साइड ऑफ द लीफ। पत्ते के नीची तरफ कोई अंडा देती है, तो ये इसको रिपेल करता है। तो मैंने ये कहा मल्टीपल हमें जो मेथड्स है वो अप्लाई करने हैं, नॉट सिंगली वन एज हैपेंड इन केस ऑफ केमिकल के, जैसे दिखा अप्लाई केमिकल किया एंड दैट्स इट। ब्रह्मास्त्र इसके लिए अप्लाई करेगा, बस सिंपल ब्रह्मास्त्र से आपको मल्टी क्रॉपिंग लगाना ही पड़ेगा।
Okay, thank you, sir. And I think we have solved or asked all the queries. Ankur sir, हेलो।
जी सर, एक एक क्वेरी को सर आपने 1 to 1 रिजॉल्व किया। बहुत समय ले लिया सर, ऑफिसर्स के बाद भी आपका बहुत समय ले लिया। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, मेरे आग्रह पर, मेरे निवेदन पर आपने ज्वाइन किया, और मैं ऐसा विश्वास करता हूं कि आपका और विश्वविद्यालय का सदैव सहयोग हमें मिलता रहेगा सर।
थैंक यू अंकुर,
थैंक यू सो मच सर।
आपका, आपके टीम का, आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। एंड अगेन माय थैंक्स टू द हम्बल लिसनर्स, थैंक यू सो मच। और मेरा नंबर एक बार आप शेयर कर दीजिए, बीच में कभी भी किसी इंडिविजुअल लिसनर को कोई बात करनी हो, ही कैन डू इट। सो दिस इज 8196।
जी मैं सर कर दूंगा सर, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में लिख दूंगा
सर, शेयर कर लीजिए।
जी 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 जी।
सो
थैंक यू सो मच।
थैंक यू, नमस्कार।
जी जी, सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स लेफ्ट कर सकते हैं।